Let's analyze all the archangels from Supernatural, discussing their original stories and then their versions in the series. And we'll also do a reaction to some of their scenes. Then we'll rank the archangels here as well according to how faithful they are, going from good, average, or even terrible.
No, nobody messes with Miguel.
Except for me. Let's begin with Uriel, who often appears with the other main three, Miguel, Raphael, and Gabriel. Also, as an archangel, and one of the main ones, his name means flame of God. He is one of the most important angels in heaven because he is also a watcher. He is responsible for standing guard at the gate of the Garden of Eden, wielding a flaming sword. And because it says in the book of Genesis that the one who stood guard at the Garden of Eden was a cherubim, Uriel, in addition to being an archangel, is also often depicted as a cherubim, or even as a seraphim. That's because of the meaning of his name, Flame of God. And usually seraphim are described as very bright beings, as if they were made of fire, and he is also a cherubim. Uriel is also one of those angels who can withstand a lot of God's presence. Uriel, depending on the version and the stories, is an angel who has always interacted a lot with humanity. They say he was the angel who fought Jacob and wanted to live among humans. He might have played key roles in history, like warning Noah instead of Gabriel, assisting Abraham, and giving major warnings to Moses. Uriel is very protective and has multiple roles. He rules over hell, and on Judgment Day will bring all souls and ancient creatures before God's court. During Egypt's plagues, he was the angel of death, killing firstborns, but sparing homes marked with lamb's blood. In another quite different version, they say that Uriel would have the difficult mission of testing humanity. In this version, he must tempt souls, but so that they can choose whether or not to stand against God. He can return to heaven only after completing this mission with everyone on earth. That's why he holds powerful titles like the Angel of Repentance, Thunder, and Vengeance. And on the practical side, so to speak, Uriel would be a protector of nature, ecology, and the planet Uranus. He is also associated with winter, the month of September, and Saturday. As an interpreter of God's truth, he inspires and introduces new ideas, intervening to restore balance or truth in people's lives. Well, on the supernatural side, we already have the main difference that, at least as far as I remember, Uriel is not characterized as being an archangel. I believe he is a more common angel. That's because when he appears back in the golden era of supernatural, he shows up together with Castiel. If I'm not mistaken, even if it was briefly, he was Castiel's superior when he appeared there for the first time. He was cold and always used brute force and violence to solve problems. He even had a lot of issues with humanity, calling us mud monkeys, naked monkeys, or even filthy worms. He believed humans were inferior, unworthy of protection, and couldn't see why they were God's favorites. He was unlike Castiel, who began to feel empathy for the Winchesters. There, Uriel, even in the Halloween episode, if I'm not mistaken, actually considered destroying an entire city. But then something very curious happened. That's because towards the end of the main seasons, Uriel showed that he wasn't that loyal to heaven after all. Actually, he was a traitor who was killing other angels who refused to follow him. He aimed to free Lucifer, admiring the devil's courage in defying God. He urged Castiel to join him, admitting he no longer believed in divine leadership. And the end of his journey happened when he tried to kill Castiel during the confrontation, but he was surprised by another angel, Anna, who killed him with the blade. Angelic in appearance, Uriel in the series is a warrior who lost faith and became one of heaven's most dangerous villains. All right, let's start the react here then, with Uriel in this scene where he's basically telling the story. Because Castiel, who's a traitor and who loves Lucifer, and I don't know what else. And thank you very much, Anina Suarez, the YouTube channel that posted this scene.
We fought side by side. We served together far from home for a long time. Too long. We are brothers, Uriel, so have respect and tell the truth.
The truth is, only one who can kill an angel. Is another angel. Your favorites, your poor and disgusting larvae.
that this is trying to convert me.
I wanted you to join me, and I still want you with me. We will have enough power to raise our brother. Lucifer.
And Satanist egg.
How strong he was. How handsome he was.
Hey there, Uriel, what's going on? Look at the time. 2 angels fighting with their fists. And those angel deaths in Supernatural are one of the few things they do well, right? That little burst of light and then the wing marks left on the ground. It looks really awesome. Since Uriel isn't an archangel, I can't really put him in the well-adapted category, right? But I think he could have been better in the show. I'll leave him as not great. Known as the angel of healing and also of knowledge, Raphael is one of the most important figures in the Abrahamic religions. In Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, he is notable for living among men in human form to guide and protect them. Like in Tobias's famous story, he healed people and even captured the Archangel, not Asmodeus the demon. Besides this role as a healer, a doctor, and a protector of travelers and doctors, he also appears as a spiritual warrior. In the fight against evil and in Islamic tradition, he has the mission of announcing the end of times. And in the end, he is seen as a great messenger who brings balance and restoration to humanity. In Supernatural, the Archangel Raphael is portrayed as one of the 4 most powerful beings created by God. But unlike his image as the angel of healing in legends and traditions, he appears more in Supernatural, like most angels, as a cold, arrogant villain obsessed with celestial order. And he has several phases in Supernatural. In the first one, he appears as the guardian of prophecies, or rather the guardian of the prophets. Raphael first appears in season 4 to protect Chuck, who was a prophet until then. He's an angel here, more of few words and a lot of strength, showing overwhelming power that can cause blackouts in entire cities just with his presence. Unlike other angels who doubt heaven, Raphael strongly believes destiny can't be changed. For him, the apocalypse should unfold as planned, since he no longer believed God would return. He only wanted the dramatic play of Miguel's battle. And soon, well, another of his story arcs is the civil war in heaven, which, after the apocalypse is stopped by the Winchesters, causes heaven to collapse. Raphael takes on the role of dealing with the traditional angels and wants to free Miguel and Lucifer from their prisons to restart the end of the world. This leads to a civil war against Castiel, who refuses to let that happen. Raphael is viewed as a tyrant who refuses to be challenged, treating humans and other angels as insignificant chess pieces. His next arc is the fall of the Archangel, featuring Raphael's quest for the Okokero, the Absolute, and ending in a final clash with Castiel. Desperate to win the war, Castiel makes a deal with Crowley to open Purgatory and absorb all its souls. Raphael tries to intervene but arrives too late. After absorbing thousands of souls, Castiel becomes a new god, and, with just a snap of his fingers, he explodes Raphael's body, taking his remains and permanently ending the Archangel's reign of terror. Okay, so let's do Raphael's reaction here. And in this part, Castiel and Dean are trying to summon Raphael. I'm not sure why they're doing this, I just don't remember.
Wait.
Wow, that's awesome. Lightning Wing. I forgot Raphael had that. Damn, that wing. This dubbing for Archangel Raphael is really awesome. It gives off an incredible sense of authority here, way better than Lucio's. Music.
I expected more from you, but all you do is darken the room? I thought you were impressive.
I expected more from you, but all you do is darken the room.
You're reminding me, Castiel. I'm telling you not to leave me here. I'll find you, maybe someday, but today you're in my hand.
I'll find you.
Today.
Ah, I like Raphael, even if his personality differs from the stories and legends. It's a good adaptation. The Archangel Gabriel, meaning God is my strength, is known globally as God's great messenger. He is part of the group of 7 archangels who are closest to God, and he is one of the few celestial beings mentioned by name both in the Old and New Testaments. He plays a key role in Islam and serves as the spokesperson for major news and revelations in Christianity. He is known for telling the Virgin Mary she would bear God's child and informing Zacharias about John the Baptist's birth, also in Islam. As Gabriel, he recited the Quran to Muhammad and is seen as the angel who delivers divine truth to prophets. Gabriel, patron of communications, diplomats, and messengers, also guides and interprets visions and dreams, as with the prophet Daniel. He serves as God's voice on earth, offering hope and clarity during crucial moments in history. Due to his role as a messenger, he is honored alongside Michael and Raphael as the trio of principal archangels in religious traditions. In supernatural, he's quite different. Gabriel would be the youngest archangel who, tired of the family's fights, ran away from heaven to earth and took on the identity of a demigod. Playful, as he calls himself in the series, really means a trickster god, like Loki, who spends centuries having fun and punishing people through mischief. Until the Winchesters found him, Gabriel, unlike his archangel brothers, developed real affection for humans and free will. Although he tried to stay neutral, he ultimately sided with humanity in the apocalypse, even confronting Lucifer to protect Sam and Jim. At one point, we even thought he might have died because of that, possibly at Lucifer's hands. Just out of curiosity, Sam and Jim, here, when they go to meet Gabriel, Gabriel ends up turning Sam into Jim's car. That's why this is going to happen, I should point that out.
Wow, Sam, you look good as a super machine, huh? Go on!
Let me turn it up a bit more.
No one leaves until Sam is whole again.
What's the difference? Satan is going to finish him off anyway.
Gabriel is my favorite archangel here because of his mischievous vibe. His dubbing fits perfectly, almost like a dubbing for Loki.
So which one are you, Guiño, Zezinho, or Luizinho? Gabriel, guys. My name is Gabriel. Ah, you big hypocrites.
Ah, it's over. Funny how Super Neto made Gabriel an angel. Doesn't he play the apocalypse trumpet? Just kidding. That's very interesting, but I like him a lot, so I'm going to make him fit in well. Although, if you look closely, right, there's not much of Gabriel in this archangel, right? But I like him, so I'm going to make him fit in well. Now let's go to the 2 main ones, starting with Michael, who is the warrior and God's divine defender. Michael, whose name means who is like God, is seen as the ultimate symbol of humility and protection. In religion, he is called the great prince and defender of God's people. His main trait is courage. Michael is the supreme leader of the heavenly armies, and according to stories, led God's army to defeat the dragon and cast rebellious angels to earth. Michael is a relentless warrior against evil, but also very welcoming. In ancient times, he was viewed as a healing angel and guide to prophets like Moses. He was considered humanity's defense attorney, someone who constantly fights so that people don't get lost on the wrong paths. He is often invoked as a protector against danger, symbolizing the victory of light over darkness because he confronts evil directly. In supernatural, Michael's fate and duty are to carry out orders. And let's say it's kind of the story that God wrote, even if that means the end of the world. He believes that the apocalypse is a play written by the Creator, and that his role is to kill his younger brother, Lucifer, in a final battle. And for Michael, there is no free will. Everything is a matter of destiny. He sees humans only as tools or vessels necessary for him to walk the earth and carry out this fight. The conflict with Zinho Winchester. The big problem for Michael begins when Zinho Winchester, who is his vessel, that is, his receptacle on earth, kind of refuses to say yes. For him, it disrupts the Archangel's plan. Michael can't understand human rebellion and tries to convince them the fight is inevitable. He eventually uses my brother Winchester, Adam, as an alternate vessel to confront Lucifer. But the plan fails and he's trapped in Hell's cage for a long time. And there's another Michael too, Michael from the alternate world, who appears later in the series. And we meet a version of Michael from a universe where he's kind of the bad guy in the story. In Supernatural, most angels are evil. And this Michael crosses into the main world to try ruling all realities. He possesses the body of becoming a top villain the brothers face until Jack, Lucifer's son, finally defeats him. But guys, here's the thing. Let's do a reaction here to Michael. Well, actually, it's not exactly Michael that we're going to react to here, right? But it's a scene where kinda Zinho makes a deal with the Archangel Michael, and he possesses Zinho, right? In this case, he takes on Michael's powers for a while and fights against Lucifer. And I chose this specific scene because I found it really funny, because of the sound effects it has. And then look at that. Just look. See, just look already. It starts with an epic song for Zinho, showing that he has Michael's powers, right? One detail is that this Michael, here, his wings look much uglier than Archangel Raphael's we saw before, right? He has lightning there, the wings. And Michael looks like an ordinary angel. He even has fallen angel wings, actually. Look at that. Look. Chirp, right? The wings should be better. It's Michael, the leader of God's army. Then, music. Man, this scene is really bad. Music. That kick was actually cool. So, once more, we have not just angels, but two archangels battling hand to hand. Look at Lucifer running. Lucifer's running. The run. Oh my God. I liked Supernatural, but some later season scenes, oh my God. Wow. Hear that thunder punch. Listen. See the savagery, the brutality. From my experience watching Supernatural, Miguel is one of the most underdeveloped archangels. Let's not dwell on that. He snaps his fingers, shoots small powers from his hand, sometimes pushes others, and uses his mind's power. Well, now let's go to the last of the archangels in Supernatural, because actually Lucifer isn't exactly an archangel in the legends and common stories of religions, but Lucifer is actually one of the most complex figures in ancient beliefs, and his name is unlike any others I've mentioned, right? Gabriel, Raphael, and Miguel have God-related names, but Lucifer's name, meaning light bearer or morning star, isn't directly linked to God. Originally, he was described as the most beautiful and powerful cherub in heaven, holding a great position among the celestial beings. In fact, according to some angelic hierarchies, a cherub would be much higher than an archangel, being one of the angels closest to God. And on some occasions, they are described as those who carry God's chariot, or who fly around God himself. But what happened is that, according to history, Lucifer ended up wanting to become the creator himself and sit on his throne because of that. Driven by ambition, Lucifer led a third of the angels in a heavenly war, but was defeated by Archangel Michael's army and expelled from heaven. With his fall, he ceased to be an angel of light and became a fallen angel, identified as Satan or the devil, the prince of darkness, the ruler of hell. Since then, he's been viewed as a tempter of humanity, using intelligence and fallen beauty to lead people off the spiritual path. Supernatural isn't much different. Lucifer, according to the story, was God's favorite son. But everything changed with the creation of humanity. God wanted the angels to love humans more than him, but Lucifer refused, seeing humans as flawed and inferior beings. Because of this rebellion and pride from the mark of Cain, he was expelled from heaven and imprisoned in hell for millennia. There, he corrupted the first human soul to create demons, just to prove how imperfect God's creation was. Lucifer finally managed to break free from his prison. And he doesn't appear as a frightening monster, but as a sarcastic, intelligent, and to some extent conceited being. He believes that he is the real victim of the story, and he seeks his Winchester as his vessel, his receptacle. Since Sam, like him, always felt like an outsider in the Winchester family, His main goal was the apocalyptic battle with his brother Miguel. He even takes over Sam's body, and both are thrown into the cage with Miguel at the end of the first season. Okay, guys? So let's do a reaction about Lucifer from Supernatural. And different, I mean different, right? Because actually I chose Miguel in Jim's body, but in a way it's different from the others I've done here. We're not going to react to the main Lucifer from the series, but rather to a specific Lucifer, which is Lucifer in future Sam's body. And I think it's really awesome. Hurry up.
Kill me! Kill! You... Don't you think that would be a bit redundant? But it had to be your brother. It had to be. You don't need to be afraid of me. Dean, what do you think I'm going to do?
It's like I said during the text, right? This Lucifer, he can be pretty convincing.
Why would I want to destroy this wonderful world, so beautiful in a trillion ways?
Yeah, and here it's already kind of weird, right? Because like Lucifer, in theory, he hates God's creation, right? So wouldn't he also dislike the world like this? Ow. He also called them God's perfect works here. Anyway.
Have you heard how I fell from heaven? You're not telling me a story, are you?
The guy isn't even mad. He tells this story.
Do you know why God cast me out? Because I loved him, Dean, more than anything.
Yeah, it would make more sense if they used the usual story of Lucifer becoming God, but that's pretty cliche too.
And then God created...
I'm kind of confused, right?
The little ones. Naked monkeys. And he asked all of us to bow down to you, to love you more than him.
It makes a lot of sense. Just kill me already.
Sorry, it's better to kill me now.
Sorry, there's nothing to say. I think this version of Lucifer is really good. Now, with that other actor, I don't like it as much, but I'm going to consider this one. Because, you know, do I have the freedom to do that? I think it's really well adapted. And guys, that's the video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share it too, and leave a comment. What should the next video be about? See you next time.